Hello and welcome to Doubles and Trebles. We're here to answer one question and one question only. Is Michael Smith ready to win a major? Has he turned a corner? Well, on recent form, Pie Man, he is absolutely flying. 2022 could hardly be going any better for the bully boy at this stage. He's won back-to-back Players' Championship tours on consecutive days. He's won a Euro Tour title. He's won the final night of the Premier League, very much needed. And then over this weekend, just gone, he's won the US Darts Masters, beating Michael van Gerwen in the final. He's in flying form, Pie Man. What have you got to say about it?
Well, what can you say other than praise him? I mean, it's an obscene number of games he's won in the last sort of 5 weeks to win those Players' Championship events. I mean, that wasn't a major surprise. We've seen him go back to back in the Players' Championship only last year, so he can do that, you know. But still, to win back-to-back events on a weekend, that's 14 games out of 14 he's won there, so that is some achievement on its own. But what we haven't seen Michael Smith do enough is kick on from that and turn that into sort of televised wins. But to go and win in the Euro Tour and to win that game against Danny Noppert, someone who he suffered such a bad night against in previously in the year, you know, to go and win that 8-7 in a deciding leg and give it some to the crowd, then to go to Vegas and to smash up New York and win really high quality opposition, smashed Van Gerwen to pieces in the final. It does feel like it could be one of those turning points. And yeah, I can totally understand why. I mean, I actually looked at the prices for that US Masters tournament before it kicked off, and Michael Smith down there at 5-1, fourth favourite. And I thought, God, he's really shortened up in the betting. Is that justified, really? But he's gone and won it. Yeah, it is. We're going to find out in these next few months whether he can translate that. But I think you have to say on current form, it does feel like this could be a turning point moment in Michael Smith's career.
Yeah, it feels like he's on the brink for me, Pie Man. It's got a lot of comparisons to me for Snakebite Right, because Snake, you know, was getting a reputation of making finals and rolling over to Michael van Gerwen, world finals, match play finals, etc. Smith's done similar, not necessarily against Van Gerwen, but he's made a world final. He's made a UK Open final this year, which you've already alluded to, which he lost in devastating circumstances. Not only has he been making finals, but it's the way he's been losing those finals, unfortunately for him. And he's had the naysayers on social media and the like. But you know, he's still only a young man, really, in this game for Michael Smith, in comparison to the likes of Peter Wright, that has only just won a world championship at 50 odd. You know, he's got plenty of time in his hand, Michael Smith, and he's just been burrowing away. He's not taken any of the, you know. Previously, he's taken some of the defeats badly, but now he's turning them corner. He's winning on TV. He's won on the stage. There's only one thing left really for him to do, Prime Man, and that is to get over the line and win a major. Now, there's not many majors priced up at the moment on Oddschecker, but there's a lot of majors quite soon in the calendar. The World Cup comes first, then we are really into major season, as I call it. It's currently 14-1 for the World Championship, as low as 8-1. So, do you think he's going to win a major in 2022, or maybe might we have to wait until next year?
Sorry, he's got opportunities coming up. He's got the match play coming up in July, which is a really good opportunity for him if he could continue that kind of hot form. And then we go into the Grand Prix, the Grand Slam, the World Championship. So he's got bags of opportunities, bags of time, but he's been his own worst enemy in these kind of events, Michael Smith. And, you know, what he needs to do now for me, the most important thing is to not concentrate too much on people like me and you discussing whether he could do it. Just get on with the job, because what he's been doing on the board has spoken for itself, and he's been guilty in the past of being drawn into these conversations about how he hasn't bottled it, or he will do this, he will do that. Don't put any extra pressure on yourself. Just go and do what you've been doing, because these wins, you know, let's not forget, it was only a month or two ago that we were talking about Michael Smith as the only player who hadn't won a Premier League night, and how it was weighing him down and how he was struggling to win. Then he goes and win 4 or 5 events in the space of 3 weeks. So that, like all sports, changes very quickly. That Michael Smith's been one of these people, you do see them across the sporting pantheon, where it's kind of a victim of his own early success, in that he burst onto the scene as a youngster, beat Taylor. He got this hype around him. Oh, he's going to win X amount of world championships. He's going to be world number one. It's very rarely that straightforward in professional elite sport. He's found it tough. But as you say, dart is absolutely littered with examples at the moment. Peter Wright, Johnny Clayton, Gerwin Price, of people who've had to wait their turn, but once they get there, they're very hard to shift. and world finalist twice now, recent world finalist, and was very, went down on his sword in that final against Peter Wright. So he's not far away. Yes, he can put it all together, but ultimately he's going to need a little bit of luck. He's going to have to carry on this good form, and he's going to have to, most importantly, not put too much pressure on himself. Just keep letting the darts do the talking, and he's got a very, very good chance of cracking that major duck in the coming months.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the World Championships at Christmas 2021, I thought that was the best we've seen in Pyman, because he was just playing himself, if you like. He wasn't playing the opponent. He was just playing the board, and he was very much concentrating. I think he'd got some sort of routines to himself in terms of where he's standing, how he's setting himself up, and he was just repeating that over and over again. And there was no emotion, virtually no emotion shown until the last dart was thrown in a lot of his games, and that's why he made the final. And he was the player of the tournament before that final game. I think that's safe to say. And then, obviously the pressure, and he went behind in that final against Snake, but not too far behind, and he was coming back towards the end. But we saw a bit of an outpour of that emotion when he beat Danny Noppert in the final of the Euro Tour, as we mentioned earlier, and like saying, just playing the game until the very last dart, playing within himself, just playing the dartboard, not getting involved with the crowd or the opponent or whatever it may be, and that's when he was giving it to the crowd, and rightly so. Good on him. And then he's got another couple of things. He's ticking a lot of boxes, Pyman, for me. He's beat Van Gerwen in a couple of big games this year, a couple of final legs actually in the Premier League. One where he looked like I think he was 5-2 up and it went 5-all.
5-5, yeah.
Everyone's going to be sitting at home like me and you, or Twitter. The Twitter standards are going to be, oh, he's bottled it 5-2 up and lost 6-5. No, he won that last leg against Van Gerwen. It wasn't a final at the time, but so he's ticking a lot of boxes. Last leg deciders, winning on away soil, if you like, winning on TV, although not majors. He's won on the floor. So yeah, all roads at the moment are leading to a big end of the year for Michael Smith. And the last thing I would say is, on World Championships alone, a lot of the players that have won World Championships have lost a final previously. It's happened to Snakebite. It's happened to Anderson. I think it happened to Barney as well, losing a final before then going on to win one. So yeah, that's another factor as well. He's made 2 finals, as you say, Pyman.
Yeah, and I think you've got to keep an eye on the rankings as well from a world championship and from a majors perspective, because the brackets often formulate on the rankings, and it can make a big difference. He's just nudged ahead recently into that top 4 again. He's gone back above James Wade and Gary Anderson, who's obviously someone sliding on a downward trajectory as well. And Jose de Souza was up in that top 4. We haven't seen a lot of him for this year. So getting back in that top 4, it guarantees you that you're going to stay away from Price, Wright and Van Gerwen until the semi-finals, and that is a massive advantage. So I really don't think you can, people may level it at him that these tournaments he's winning don't really mean a lot, but quietly he's building up the ranking to give himself a really good crack at these majors, and momentum can be key in these kind of events. If he gets a good start and he gets a toe in, then that could be really pivotal for him. So yeah, I think we have to say it's never looked so good for Michael Smith fans. Don't get ahead of yourself, but the big one might be around the corner.
Yeah, and we've got major season, as we're calling it here on the channel, just around the corner, and we're sure to be talking about Michael Smith and plenty of other darts players as the year reaches the crescendo of the World Championships in December. So let us know in the comments what you think Michael Smith can achieve this year and beyond. Thanks for watching.